My name is Sandy Caesar, and I'll be presenting on society's attempt to understand bisexuality from various stances. A bisexual is a person who experiences emotional, romantic, and/or sexual attractions to, or engages in romantic or sexual relationships with more than one sex or gender. The bisexual community is subject to discrimination and stereotypes from both the exclusively homosexual and exclusively heterosexual community. Stereotypes and discrimination usually stems from a lack of knowledge, thus it is important to promote the acceptance of and understand bisexuality as children, as a sexual majority, and from a psychological standpoint. Hart et al. In 2019 studied the correlation between bullying as a child and the prevalence of mental health issues in gay and bisexual men that describe themselves as nonconforming to gender roles. This is based off of the observation that adolescent young men who reported being bullied due to the perception that they were gay also reported more physical or verbal bullying and higher rates of anxiety and depression, and that individuals who report less gender conformity also experienced more victimization. It was concluded that there was an association with peer harassment and mental health issues as an adult. The importance of this study is to recognize how acceptance, or lack thereof, as a child can shape an adult. By cultivating acceptance and understanding of bisexuals from a younger age, the prevalence of bullying may decrease, leading to a downward shift in mental health issues. The term sexual majority refers to heterosexuals, as they not only outnumber the LGBTQ community, but they are also generally more readily accepted by society. Swan and Habibi in 2017 performed two separate studies to see when heterosexual participants would label a man or woman as bisexual. Women were given more flexibility in terms of orientation, and it took very intimate or repeated sexual behavior before participants would label a woman as bisexual. However, when it came to men, they were labeled as bisexual for almost all same sex behaviors and emotions. Furthermore, when participants were asked to rate the men and women on a sexual continuum, the men were rated higher on the scale and closer towards homosexuality than the women. Although these findings confirm that heterosexuals still believe in stereotypes regarding bisexual women, there also was improvement regarding bisexual men. The one drop rule, or the idea that a heterosexual man is gay instead of bisexual, was not reflected in the study if that person were to engage in same sex behavior. Furthermore, as we become more aware of the bisexual orientation and engage less in bisexual erasure, or the denying or questioning of someone's bisexuality, support for bisexuals should increase, which in turn should lead to an increase of bisexual people that feel proud and comfortable in their identity. Lesbian, gay, and bisexual identity scale is a relatively new method that measures sexual identity. This was done through a six-factor structure consisting of need for privacy, or the preference of control over disclosure of one's LG identity, need for acceptance, or the extent of self-acceptance based on others' view of one's LG status, internalized homonegativity, or the degree of internalized heterosexist views of LG persons, difficult process, or the extent of ease in acknowledging one's LG status to self and others, identity confusion, or the degree of certainty in one's self-labeled LG identity, and superiority, the extent to which one's LG status sets him or her apart from straight people. A study was done that compared the psychometric properties of LGBIS to other methods, and it was determined that the sexual orientation minority identity among community members, as measured by LGBIS, was best conceptualized using a six-factor structure that was explained earlier. It's important that there is a model that can help correctly measure sexual identity, as it will help create understanding between psychologists and members of the non-heterosexual community, such as bisexuals. The only way to foster acceptance and diminish stereotypes and discrimination towards bisexuals is to increase understanding in these various aspects of society. It is important that children are taught to be open to those that are different from them, otherwise, their bullying may leave lasting effects on others. As a sexual majority, heterosexuals are prone to bisexual erasure, and while this is improving regarding men, we still have a lot of improvement regarding bisexual women. From a psychological stance, it's important that we use a model that can correctly measure sexual orientation. However, as our understanding of human sexuality deepens, we need to revise these models to become more inclusive. Overall, understanding bisexuality is crucial to understanding human sexuality because the bisexual orientation represents the majority of non heterosexuals. In order to understand the whole, we must be able to comprehend each individual part. In terms of relationship, it's important that we understand the different experiences that bisexuals may undergo. They are open to more than one gender, which allows more variety in their relationship experiences and partners. In conclusion, bisexuality is more complex than society pegs it to be. Although society has made several attempts to fully understand this sexual orientation, more effort must be made to truly comprehend the nuances of bisexuality. Thank you for listening.